How's it going, everybody? It's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a great weekend so far. The sun is shining. We're in the living room for a more chilled out match preview this time. Yes, obviously Leeds United are taking on Norwich City at Carrow Road tomorrow afternoon in the first leg of the Championship playoff semi-finals. Hoping to kickstart this tie with a win, which will hopefully put us in good stead going to Ellen Road on Thursday night for the second leg. So just before we get into this video in more detail, please make sure that you are smashing that like button. It really does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new and hit that notification bell. And of course, get all your thoughts and opinions on how you think the game will go tomorrow in the comment section down below. So yeah, it's a massive game for Leeds. Obviously, there's people who are not confident going into it. I'd say I'm kind of in that category. I'm not as confident as what I would have liked to have been. If we'd have maybe beaten Southampton and looked good doing it, then I'd maybe have a little bit more faith. But I think, the last two results of the season, the QPR game and then the Southampton game, weren't great. Obviously, there was slight improvements in the Southampton game at Ellen Road, but not a lot of improvements, but there were some. You have to give it to them. They did play a little bit better, but I just think towards the post-international break, I don't know if it's the squad being fatigued. I don't know if it's mentality. I don't know if it's Farke's tactics or his in-game management, or is it just that other teams, other managers have found Leeds United out? I think it could be a combination of all those things, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, look, like Farke said in his press conference yesterday, the season's done now. It's a fresh start. It's a fresh reset now. Ultimately, it's a fresh competition. It's a mini tournament now that Leeds United just need to go out and win. We're definitely the best team in the four teams that have made the playoffs, 100%. We finished third for one, 3 points clear of Southampton. 17 points more than Norwich City, who we've obviously got in the semi-finals. So, on paper and by rights, Leeds United should easily win the playoffs. But of course, it won't be as easy as that, will it? Leeds United will do it the hard way. If they are going to do it, they will do it the hardest way possible. I'll be honest, guys, after Southampton, I was down, I was deflated, I wasn't in a great mood or a great headspace when it came to Leeds United. And I've deliberately this week maybe not done a lot of content because, even at work when people are asking me about Leeds, I've just wanted to switch off from it for a few days. I know the season's not quite done yet, in a sense, but I just wanted to have that mini little break of just not really speaking about Leeds or focusing on Leeds because, it is a lot on the old brain. It does affect you. Even, if you're as loyal of a fan as I'm sure you all are and I am as well, it does affect you. It affects your day-to-day mood. It affects your day-to-day life. And I just wanted to take a little break just to reset, because these playoffs are going to be intense. It's going to be grueling. And, if Leeds United are unsuccessful in the semi-final overall, then it's going to be another derby feeling. That's probably the only time I've ever cried in Ellen Road was when we got beat by Derby that night. It wasn't expected on the night and it was awful. And it took me a good while to get over it. Hopefully we can have more success in the playoffs. Leeds United have never been promoted via the playoffs in their history. So, yeah, that bodes well, doesn't it? But there's records there that are there to be broken, 100%. None of the four teams going into the playoffs are in form. We're certainly not. I don't think Norwich, they got beat by Birmingham on the last day of the season, who inevitably got relegated. Southampton, yes, they beat us, but prior to that, they'd lost the last three. I think West Brom won on the final day, but again, prior to that, they'd lost the last three. So no one's coming into it in form, which probably works in our favour. Because let's say Southampton, West Brom and Norwich were all kind of in form and winning games, and then there was just us, then I'd be a little bit more worried and a bit more concerned. The thing that does concern me, and I'm sure it concerns everyone else, is obviously Should we get to Wembley and should Southampton get past West Brom like I expect them to, the prospect of facing Southampton at Wembley after how they played against us on the final day and how they made us look well, I'd say average, below average, in my opinion. They looked levels above us on that day. That scares me for if we get to Wembley against them, which is why I'm hoping West Brom can do the job, because I'd feel a little bit more comfortable going into a one-off game against West Brom rather than Southampton. But look, I predicted in my playoff predictions on, was it Monday, that I believe we will get to Wembley, but I believe we will lose to Southampton, and I'm going to stick by that because I've not seen us play Norwich yet. If we go out at Carrow Road tomorrow and we put in a performance, we play a lot better, we're more on the front foot, we're more measured, we're tighter at the back, then yeah, maybe that opinion could change. But I'm just very, very worried given the recent performances, and a lot's been made of that photograph that's been took of the squad where it looks like they've had like a team meal or like a night out or something. A lot's been made of some of the facial expressions from certain individuals, i.e. Crescencio Somerville. I look at it in a sense of it probably looks annoyed and pissed off, frankly, because we didn't go up automatically and we should have done. No disrespect to Ipswich Town, they thoroughly deserved it. But at the end of the day, the squad and the calibre of squad that we've got should not be in the playoffs instead of Ipswich Town. Like, we shouldn't. So he probably is a bit pissed off, and fair play to him for being pissed off, to be fair, because it shows he cares. And, hopefully, and this doesn't just apply to Somerville, but hopefully a lot of our key players that have been underperforming recently can get a bit of a kick up the arse now, because this is where it is literally do or die. We could be in a scenario this time next week where we're knocked out of the playoffs and we're condemned to another season in the Championship. I would rather get to Wembley and give it a go at Wembley and lose at Wembley than go out in the semi-finals. Because even against Southampton, I know I predicted a defeat against them, should that be the final, but in a one-off game at Wembley, anything could happen. Anything. Literally anything could happen. Obviously, Farker gave some team updates for the game yesterday. Patrick Bamford out of both legs, which is not ideal at all. Not ideal, because it means now that you more than likely, you would say, we're going to see Joel Perreault. Which, yeah, he scored against Southampton, but other than that, what did he really do? The game against QPR was absolutely dreadful from him. Again, the whole team were bad that night, but him as an individual was shocking. We know Farker's not just going to throw Mateo Joseph in cold into the playoffs. It just isn't. So I hope that over the last few days or the last week or so, that Farker's been trying to implement a system that can maybe work for Joel Perreault. Maybe a 4-3-3 would help, having an extra man in midfield. I think that would aid Joel Perreault massively. Because Perreault, I'm not saying is on the level of Harry Kane, because he definitely isn't, but he's a Harry Kane type forward where he drops deep for the ball, but then it leaves no one upfield. So if you've got that extra man in midfield, it would aid Joel Perreault to keep upfield and, be in the right positions at the right times, hopefully. But we know that Farker's not going to do that. He's going to stick with his 4-2-3-1. I think Connor Roberts will come in and start. I think it'll be Roberts, Rodon, Ampadu and Firpo at the back. I think Gruev and Kamara will remain as the double pivot, and I think Gray will be dropped to the bench. Or he may put Gray in ahead of Kamara. Either way, I think Gruev does start. And then obviously you've got Rutter, Perreault, Somerville, Nonto. Obviously he said Dan James is likely to be in the squad, but maybe not for a full 90, which would indicate he's probably not going to start. But at least it makes the bench look a bit stronger. But I think Pat Bamford not being in the side is a huge loss. What he does for the team, even when he's not scoring goals. off the ball. His link up play, holds the ball up well, just does things that Yoel Perreault simply doesn't do. Perreault doesn't press, rarely initiates a press. So it'll be interesting to see what Farke can try and implement with Yoel Perreault in the team, because he's not daft as Farke, and he knows what he's watching. Perreault has been so ineffective off the ball and on the ball, really, for most of the season, even though he has scored 13 goals. But, like you say, hopefully a lot of them can have a fresh mindset, a fresh go at things now. It's the biggest game of the season, 100% so far. And I think this first leg is massive for how the tie finishes, in my opinion. For me, guys, if we lose this first leg, I can't see us overturning it at Ellen Road. However, if we can win or take a draw back to Ellen Road, I think we could do it. I think we could see the job out there. I know it's a different league, but if you look at Doncaster Rovers, they were 2-0 up in the first leg, going into the second leg against Crewe Alexandra, and they got beat on penalties. So it can happen. You can lose after winning the first leg, as we all know from that derby tie. But I'm fairly confident that we can get the job done tomorrow, and I'm going for a 2-1 win to the Whites. I think it'll be close, tense, edgy, but I think we'll just have enough to see it out. They've obviously got good players like Gabriel Sara, Ashley Barnes, Josh Sargent, Ashley Barnes. Have I said Ashley Barnes? I'm not sure if he's even fit for it, to be fair, but either way, I'm nervous for it now. Obviously, all week I've been trying to switch off from it, but now it's literally 24 hours away. I'm bricking it, massively bricking it. But I'm fairly confident we can go out and get the job done. But like I say, guys, if we see any level of performance similar to what we've seen over the last few weeks, I just can't see us getting to Wembley playing like that. I think Norwich will be able to get the better of us if we play like that. And I definitely think West Brom or Southampton could get the better of us at Wembley if we play like that as well. But yeah, look, there's not really a lot more to say on it, guys. Like I said, I'm going for a 2-1 win. And yeah, hopefully we can take a positive result to Ellen Road on Thursday and hopefully see this tie out and have a day out at Wembley. How nice would that be? Only as nice. It'd only be nice if we got the job done, wouldn't it? Let's be honest with ourselves here. So yeah, that is the end of this match preview, guys. Really, really hope that you've all enjoyed it and that you enjoy the rest of this glorious weather in the UK over this weekend. Just before you leave the video, guys, please make sure you are smashing a like on it. It does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new and hit that notification bell. And I will be back with my match review after the game tomorrow. Let's hope it's a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.